when you're young, you don't get injuries. It's later on that you get injuries. Oh, the motivation was very, very simple. It's as I said before, it sat on my lap before every test match and was the last thing that I put on. It was the jersey was the motivation. What it meant, and also we would use quite a lot, quite rightly, the Australian people as our motivation, and what it meant to supporters of the game, particularly people in the bush. It was so important to them that we won and that we had a great team, and we played a lot for them. But in that World Cup, we had so many faxes, it was ridiculous. And we had 6 fax machines in the hotel in London going for us 24/7, just churning out fax machines. And we had pages and like thousands of pages of them. And they were stuck all over the walls of our team room. And, so you could walk around the team room and just read what people had been sending from all around the place. And it was even then we didn't really understand the impact that we'd had. We'd heard that people were staying up late and watching the games. And you don't really know what that means, but literally everyone was staying up late and watching the games. And, we started to get faxes in from Western Australia and South Australia and, Tasmania, places that weren't traditional, rugby territory. And sort of, I think that built on us. And then after we won, and Nick Greiner, the Premier of New South Wales at the time, Nick Farr-Jones had heard that Greiner was going to hold a ticket tape parade. And Farr-Jones, somehow hunted down Nick Greiner's number and said, you can't do this. No one's going to turn up. Forget it. You can't have a ticket tape parade. And Nick Greiner said, don't worry, Nick, we'll be right. We're having the ticket tape parade. He goes, you can't do it. And anyway, we had the ticket tape parade, and we actually didn't understand how big that was going to be either. We got in these little Ford Fiestas or Ford whatever they were called, with an open top roof, and we were in Pitt Street, and we had to come down Pitt Street, turn left into whatever that one is on the water, on the quay, and then left into George Street to go up George Street. Yeah. And so from Pitt Street, we didn't know there was anyone there. We still thought there was no one, and we're just going to be driving up an empty street and no one's there. So we turned the corner into George Street, and we went, oh my God. And it was that moment where we thought, this is real, and we've actually had an impact, which is what we wanted to do, is to have an impact.